Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Today, inshallah, we're going to talk about chapter 8. So we'll jump to chapter 8. So we'll skip chapter 7, but we'll go back to it. So we'll take chapter 8, chapter 9, and then we'll go back so that we can finish all the network layer, and then we'll go up to the transport layer. Chapter 8 and chapter 9, they both talk about subnetting. And by subnetting, the easiest thing is that for subnetting, we just need to apply the subnet to the address in order to separate the network from the host. And then we categorize the address based on the host part. So if the host part is all zeros, then this address is a network address. If the host part is all ones, then this address is a broadcast address. If it's anything in between, this address is a valid host address, which means that you can assign it to any host on the network, and this host can send and receive messages using unicast. Okay? So these are the three major categories of IPs within each network. So we do that within each LAN. So each LAN has network address, broadcast address, and multiple host addresses, or valid host addresses, or unicast addresses. Okay? So to start, we need to refresh the binary to decimal conversion and the decimal to binary, because the notation that we use for IPs is based on the dotted decimal notation. So each byte in the IP address is represented using the decimal representation of that address. So of course, as we remember from Math 101, that to convert binary to decimal, we just need to convert each one in this binary sequence. So this is equivalent to 128, which is 2 to the power 7. This is 2 to the power 6, which is 64, and then 32, and then all of the to 1. So if you have 0, then you don't count. If you have 1, then you count this number, and you keep accumulating, and this way you can get the decimal representation. The most important thing about this chapter and the next chapter is speed. Is really to be able to do these calculations very, very fast, and hopefully without any calculator, because if you use the calculator, it's going to slow you down. So remember that. So try to avoid using the calculator as much as possible. Okay? Yeah, that's why you need practice. So if you practice, then you will do this very fast, and you will have the chance to, if you have more time, then you can verify your answers using calculator later on. And really, the calculator will not help you to solve all the exercises. You can use it just to verify some steps. But you need to rely on yourself to practice a lot so that you can do these things very fast. Okay? So first, we just need to convert this to decimal very quickly. One thing you notice here is that when you try to relate numbers together, because this is typically what you will get when you have a subnet. When you have a subnet, you will see that the addresses are very close to each other. So you don't go from scratch in converting everything to decimal or to binary, okay, when the numbers are close to each other. So when you relate the numbers, you can do things very fast, and I will show you how to do that. Okay, so okay, so this number is simply 128 plus 32, which is 128 plus 32 is 160. If you notice, the only difference is this one, right? So this one is equivalent to 8. تبقى 168. Okay? So this one you just add 1. صح? Which is 169. صح كده? No. This one is 169. صح? This one is just, this one is 0, right? So this one is 169. لا, this one is different. This one is different. لا, this one is different. Yeah, this one is different. This one is different. From here to here is just that this one becomes 0 and this one 1. Okay, so this one is 169. صح. Okay. This one is a plus 4 بالضبط. يبقى 173. تمام؟ Okay. طيب. هنا 173 160 168 169 كويس كده؟ ايه بقى تاني؟ 169 للاسف مفيش هنا اي راحت اوكي طيب to convert from decimal to binary we do it the other way around. So you take the number, so 155 for example, so let's say 129 for example. Then the first thing to do is to ask yourself whether this is greater than 128 or not. If it's greater than 128, then you put 1 in the leftmost bit. So in that case, it's more than 128. So you put 1. Then we subtract the 128 from this number. So it will be 1. Okay? If this one is more than 64, then you put 1. Otherwise, you put 0. And then if it's more than 32, you put 1. Other than that, you put the 0, and then the 0, 0, 0, 1. Of course, once you reach to a number that's obvious, you can just put the equivalence, the binary equivalence of this number, without having to do these steps. So just some tips to speed up the operation. Okay. للأسف ما فيش هنا undo للأسف. So we'll try 51. So for 51, is it more than 128? No. Then we'll put 0. Is it more than 64? No. Put 0. Is it more than 32? Yes, 1. 32 معناها will subtract 51 minus 32. 9, 1. صح? This one, 19. أكبر من 16? Yes, put 1. We put 16 here, so it's 3. So it's 0, 0, 1, 1. 3 خلاص 3 معروفة. I don't have to do these steps again. Okay? So this one is a 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1. Okay? طيب الفرق بين the difference between this one and this one is a in decimal is 8. بالظبط كده. That's it. Which means that we add 8 to this number. 8, which is a 1 here. صح? 8 is 1 in this digit. So we just put it 8. That's it. 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0. That's it. كان 6 دقايق على فكرة. ما كانش
مش والله مش قصدي على الكويز، قصدي يعني ايه؟ بتكلم لا مش مهم يعني قصدي بتكلم ان 5 دقايق ما كانوش كفايه صح؟ طبيعي انا عايز احمد سريع شويه ولا ايه؟
لا لا، هما اولا كانوا 3 questions فقط.
انا ما بتاعت الاسم اللي خدت دلوقتي بتاعت المبادئ.
anyway ايوه هنحلها. اوكي اوكي خلينا so 155 is more than 128, so we put 1 and then we subtract 8 from 5 is 8 from 15 is 7 صح, and then 2 from 4 is 2. 27 is more than 64, no. Is more than 32, no. Is more than 16, yes. So we put 1 and then we put 16. So it's 11. 11 is more than 8, yes. So we put 8 and the answer is 3, then it's 0, 0, 1, 1. Oh, sorry, 0, 1, 1. So this one is 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Okay? So this one, 147 from 158, we subtract 8. We subtract 8, which means that we move this one. So it's 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1. Okay? We subtract 8. All right? So this way we can be faster. طيب. ماشي الانسر زي الحكم تمام موجود. طيب okay, so now that's the real stuff. This is the real stuff. Okay? So this is the most important thing is in this chapter really. Now that we know how to convert from binary to decimal and from decimal to binary, we now need to apply. So you have this host address. This host address now needs to use this subnet mask. Since you have a host address and subnet mask, you can now get the network address by applying the mask on the host address. So we just need to apply this mask to this host address. Bland, just ending operation. And it's very easy that, you know, the mask, luckily the mask is actually consecutive ones on the left-hand side and then consecutive zeros. You can never have a subnet mask that has 0 here and then it switch back to 1. That's not a valid subnet mask. And that was the question in the quiz. Okay? So you can never have a subnet mask with zeros and then ones. You have to have consecutive ones on the left-hand side and then consecutive 0 on the right-hand side. Okay? So 2 to 4 in this byte, of course we are, if it's 255, it's clear. So the trick is always in the in these numbers. Okay? So this is the trick here. So this 2 to 4, luckily here you have everything. You have the binary representation, so you don't have to convert. But of course in the exam, it's never that easy. So you have to convert this binary to, and I will again tell you some tips where you can speed up and first of all recognize that this is a valid subnet mask, and then to be able to apply the mask on the host address fast. Huh? Yes, speed. زي ما قلنا هو, so it's very easy when you apply anything to the mask. You just need to see where the mask is not 255, because if the mask has 255, then this part of the address goes the same. It does not change because 255 is all ones, صح? So this part stays the same here. I don't have to convert it to binary, and then from binary to decimal, you are wasting time. Okay? So this one is 1094. This one you are applying 0 to anything. 0 to anything is is 0. So also I don't have to do any kind of conversion to binary and then from binary to decimal. You're wasting time.
Meaning dominant class.
Yes, yes. Okay, so now this byte seems to be a bit tricky because it's not 255. The mask is not 255. It's 224. Okay. So أنا بقى عايزك بقى إيه? Think about these numbers very carefully. There are a set of numbers which we call them, sometimes they call them anchor numbers, they call them magic numbers, they call them whatever. The most important thing is that these numbers have to be in your mind as a decimal representation and binary representation. In other words, you have to memorize them. Okay? So when you see this number, you know right away that the binary representation for this number is this. Okay? And these are valid subnet mask numbers. So we know that 128
يعني لو حولنا مثلا subnet mask
128 is 1 and then 0 0 0 and then 0 0 0 0. Right? So if you put 1 1 and then 0 0 0 0 0 0, this is called 192, which is basically adding 64 to the 128. You don't have to add and do this. You have to memorize this number because I will show you when you memorize these numbers, it will speed up your calculations significantly. Okay? So 1 1 1 and then 0 0 0 0 0. This is 2 to 4. 32. And then 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 0. This is 240. Okay? And then 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 0. This is 248. And then 252. And then 254. And then 255. So this is 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0. And this is 0. And this is all ones. These numbers have to be in your mind. So when you look at the number in decimal, already the binary representation gets drawn in your mind. You don't have to really use calculator or anything. Okay? So this will help you to really speed up the calculations quite a bit. So when you go back here, so we know that so for this byte, we are applying 249, and 249 is actually 248 plus 1. So I can waste some time and say, okay, so 249 is 248 plus 1, so it's 1 1 1 1 1 0 0 1, right? And then the 2 to 4 is 1 1 1 0 0 0 0 0, and then I end this 1 1 1 and then all zeros, which is 2 to 4. But really, you can do this even faster by saying, okay, so the mask applies. So these numbers stay the same, and these numbers become 0. So it's the same number. So 2 to 4 stays the same. Okay? So you don't have to do this calculation even. You can just straightforward recognize the number. Okay? So this is the network address for this subnet or for this network. So for this network, the network address is 10.94.224.0. Okay? If you take this part and put it all once, then this becomes the broadcast address. We'll see that next activity. مفهوم ولا في لبس هنا؟ Okay? Same thing here. So this part stays the same, and this part stays 0 regardless. And this is the trick here. So for the subnet mask, it's all ones except the last 2 digits only. Okay? Which means that all these bits stay the same. And these 2 bits become 0, 0, regardless. صح? Which means, again, I don't have to do any calculations, which means this 1 changed from 1 to 0, which means that you subtract 1. So 109 becomes 108. Yeah?
من الشمال بقى.
بالشمال
زيرو واحد. طب زيرو واحد مش بزيرو؟
زيرو
حضرتك ليه قلتها؟
Yeah. هو يعني if you do the end operation it's it becomes 0 1 1 بالظبط 0 1 1 0 1 and this is 1 1 1 1 1 1 0 0, right? Do the end, it's 0 1 1 0 1 1 and then 0 0. So the only difference here is here. Because this number is exactly the same. Okay? So it's 109 minus 1. So these are just tips to speed the calculations. If you want to use the calculator, go for it. But you will slow yourself down for no reason. It's just with a little bit of practice, you can be much, much faster. So this part, I think you will get fed up from these calculations because here we're doing some activities, in the lab you'll do some activities, in the assignment you will do some activities. So I hope by the end of this, you master these calculations. When you see it in the exam, you really you feel happy that there is an exercise about this in the exam. Subnet mask. Yes. Is it a valid subnet mask or not?
المفروض نعمل ايه بقى ساعتها؟
ما انت شاهدت الفيديو ده اما احنا
ايوه انا فاهم بس انا قصدي كسرعه المفروض ايه في طريقه سريعه ان انا
Yeah, it's very fast. هي النمبرز دي if you memorize these numbers اهو the third byte كان مثلا 250 241 خلاص. It's not one of the numbers that we have. Yes, 240, yes, 240 is valid. 224, yes, 224 is valid. 248, yeah, it's valid. 252, yes, it's valid. 254, yes, it's valid. مش أي واحد منهم, لا. All the choices are wrong except for one. Because remember, remember the question sometimes says it's not valid. It's a valid subnet.
لو اخترت هذا اللي هو
Yeah, 240, yes, 240, yes.
لا 241
لا 241 ما ينفعش.
لازم أقل شيء.
أهو 241 is إيه؟ 241 is actually it's 240 اللي هو 1 plus 1 صح؟ It's 240 plus 1 so it's 0001. ما يصير. اللي عليهم كله صفار الله ينور عليك بس يبقى it's not a valid subnet mask. اوكي واضح؟ اوكي